Right, we are recording officially begun. Just wanted to start off with music. Oh, my internet connection is unstable. Hopefully it will stabilize after doing this reboot with us. I wanted to do music because I love connecting with groups. And it's like, honestly, I love going to workshops and I love having music at the beginning. Just like, something new. You don't need to do that much. You don't need to know the words. You just gotta flow. No? 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 All right. So do you want to get started? Oh, okay. Actually, if you have water, get your water. If you have like a hot beverage you want, get your hot beverage. Get your journal. That's ideal. If you don't feel like writing things down, then you just have your phone so you can take notes. If you don't have that, then have your brain. Um, what you put into this course is what you will get out of this course, as with most things in life. Not too loud. This course is also designed to like kind of meet you where you're at. So there like I have like kind of levels in mind. So if you want to go all in, there's growth assignments that you can do when you leave. And then if you just want like kind of a medium, then you can just come and do like the growth work during the video. Or if you don't want to do any of that, you just want to come and chat, then come and chat. Like if you just need connection, I get it. So like come and chat. Like I love connecting with people. And so yeah, that is what okay, that is the end of the song. We're gonna pause that. Okay, that is what I had in mind. Um, I'm so happy that you guys are here. If you're watching it in the replay, I know it's a spring reboot, but honestly, this is timeless information and can be used at any time. I just love that it's spring right now, and I'm still so amazed that it's 7 p.m. and light out. Yeah, super exciting. I love spring. I love summer, as I'm sure most of you do too. Um, yeah, I think that's all I had for that. Do I have notes? Absolutely, because I wanted to make sure that I don't go off tangent because I know that your time is precious and I value your time and I want to be mindful of that. And I can't go off on tangents. So, yes, welcome to the spring reboot mini series week 2, which is reset. I'm really excited. We are going to be redesigning your ideal daily flow. So I guess it's actually designing your ideal daily flow, but like redesigning your daily flow in general, to make it an ideal daily flow for you. No, my light. It's fine. I'll do without. The cord, the wire has all of a sudden been weird, so like it needs to be like in a certain position, otherwise it turns off, and now it's turned off, but that's okay. We'll make it through. Um, okay, I couldn't. So fingers crossed it stays like this. So yeah, last week we focused on clearing the mental and emotional clutter. Not just our stuff, but our mental and emotional weight. Just like reflecting on what you let go of last week and how you felt letting go of it. All right, so there we go. Oops. Oh my gosh. Okay, decluttering isn't just about tidying up, it's about making space for what actually matters to you. The vacuum effect. So letting go of things creates a vacuum effect. And I was curious because this concept is talked about a lot in science. And I never quite understood what it meant. I don't know why, but so I just decided to like look into it. Um and basically it's just that it literally creates more space in your time, thoughts, and emotional bandwidth to do something new. So have you ever kind of just felt like you just didn't like have the emotional capacity to deal with certain things or learn something new or whatnot? So yeah, letting go creates a vacuum, and today's about choosing what we want to fill that space with. So why does letting go create a vacuum? Let's say you let go of a toxic friendship, a habit that numbed you, a belief that kept you small. Now suddenly there's space where that thing used to live in your time, in your thoughts, in your emotional bandwidth. If you don't consciously choose what to fill that space with, something else will. And often it's just the next familiar pattern or distraction, or often it's just like the same pattern in a different form. That's why people sometimes replace one toxic relationship with another. They replace one bad habit with a new one. They leave an old job that they didn't like that was burning them out and they just jump into a new job. They go from smoking cigarettes to eating junk food, etc. It's not because they're failing, it's because the vacuum wants to be filled. I still don't know why we call it a vacuum, but and it's just the default to what someone is comfortable with, and what they used to survive before. And so we don't have to demonize it. We just gotta acknowledge that it's not getting us where we want it to go anymore. So let's add new habits to replace the old habits. Ideally, you let go of some old habits last week, but if not, we're gonna do that this week. So, we're going to talk about the power of intentional routines. With all that being said, we want to add positive additions to it instead of just focusing on taking away because we don't want the vacuum effect to accidentally just fill up with any old habits, right? So today we're going to focus on the power of intentional routines, which I may have already said. Your habits will carry you or bury you. Most of us think transformation comes from big moves. But your actual life is shaped by what you do when no one's watching, those tiny little decisions. Most of our life is made up of micro decisions, brushing our teeth or scrolling before bed, snoozing again or stretching, smoking a cigarette or not smoking a cigarette, taking a breath, eating the midnight snack or not, scrolling or journaling before bed. Every little choice casts a vote for the kind of life we're building. Each of these choices, as I said, is like casting a vote. One scroll might not seem like a big deal, but 365 nighttime scrolls versus 365 self check-ins, that's two different futures. So the confidence link. Confidence doesn't come from just one pep talk. It comes from keeping your word to yourself. And routines are a way of making promises and keeping them daily. Thus, this builds confidence, along with other amazing benefits of just like doing the actual routine itself. I know not everyone wants to have like a morning routine, but I really believe in it. And in my life, when I've had major um like growth, like slingshot, I don't know, like we're transformation, when I've had major transformation, it's often because I'm doing a morning routine and I'm priming my emotions and my nervous system and I'm regulating myself before I start the day. And I'm like taking time to myself before I start the day. So it doesn't have to be a morning routine. You can just replace that idea with whatever routine you feel is good. Maybe it's just sitting and reading a book with a tea with by yourself. Maybe it's going for a hike in nature by yourself. Even a 5-minute routine In the morning, it doesn't have to be in the morning though, but I do think it's best in the morning, like breath work or stretching or journaling or just silence or gratitude. Those can be huge anchors. And if thinking of starting, yeah, if thinking of starting the morning routine feels overwhelming, start with making one small promise to yourself. It could be in the morning or not. Maybe it's making your bed in the morning. Maybe it's doing a stretch. Making the bed is really great because not only do you feel good about doing it, but then also you're rewarded all day long or whenever you're in your room because it feels so much cleaner. I used to be one of those people where my bed was never made and I didn't see a reason in making it because I was just gonna get into it the next night, so like who cares? But having a made bed just makes me feel so much more together and it's just nicer. Like it makes a room feel so much cleaner too, especially if you have a smaller room. So think of routines as like a SEPA of life. Are they boring? Yes. But are they helpful when things are going off the rails? Also, yes. All right, so now we're going to talk about the habit reset blueprint. We are going to notice the current go-to habits and create small, meaningful upgrades in our life. Most of us run on autopilot more than we realize, and that's not a flaw. It's just how our human brains work to save energy. But when we pause and look at what we're doing on autopilot, we get a better chance to tweak it. So, no one's perfect. This isn't about perfection. It's just about progress. So, not perfectly, just better and repeatable. And yeah, that's the sweet spot. So, today we're going to pick 1 to 3 areas to focus on in your life. Um, Personally, again, this is meant to be on levels. So, if you're kind of just starting out, like maybe pick one small habit to change. But if you've been doing this for a while and you want to like up the ante, or I don't even know what that really means, but increase, I don't know why words are hard for me lately, but if you want to like do more, then pick 3, or you can pick up to 3. Honestly, you can pick as many as you want, but this is just the guideline, okay? This is just the guideline. You're gonna focus, so it could be from your mind, body, or spirit, or your environment. Um, you're going to focus on the one, and for each one, you're going to jot it down. You're going to focus on whatever, however many you want. But for each one, you're going to write it down, and you're going to write your default habit, what you've been kind of doing on autopilot, and then you're going to write the habit that you really want to replace it with. Um, you want to keep it kind of simple, doable, and aligned with where you want to go in life. I have some examples, I think. Yeah. Okay. Okay, some habit examples, some old ones. We got scrolling the phone in bed first thing in the morning. A new aligned habit could be take 3 deep breaths and set an intention. You can also have your phone on airplane mode and have it so that you have to achieve certain, like you have to do your 3 deep breaths or you have to have 5 minutes of silence before you can turn on the airplane mode and check. The old default habit could be hitting snooze 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times. And then the new habit could be getting up after one snooze and having a quick 5 minute stretch, or maybe going and immediately slashing water on your face. Um, Maybe it's just like literally putting on your shoes right away and getting outside because we all know the positive effects of having sunlight first thing. Maybe the old default habit could be leaving dishes overnight. And a new habit could be tidying up one surface before bed. An old default habit could be skipping meals while rushing. And knowing that you're going to be busy throughout the week but not preparing for it. And a new aligned habit could be preparing a simple snack in advance. That's why I love apples. I never used to love the taste of them, but I love how convenient they are and readily available they are, and but you don't need to like prepare them. And they last for so long. So now I love apples. And at the bottom, I hope you can see it because my screen is cutting it out, but I'm hoping it's not, that's just like the bar on my personal computer and it's not recording that part. But at the bottom, it says progress over perfection. And that is so key here because we don't want it to be like, oh, we made a mistake and we didn't keep up with it one day, so now we're going to throw in the whole towel. That's not what it's about here. It's just about making progress, okay? And honestly, even just being here and thinking about these things is making progress. Wow, that was so fast. It was only 17 minutes. All right. Okay, some notes actually. Yeah. So, like this isn't about perfect routines. It's about casting votes for who you want to become. One small upgrade is enough to shift the day. Again, like if you wake up on the wrong side of the bed and you don't, this is the thing I don't love about stressing on morning routines, because for me personally, I've stressed on it, and then when if I don't wake up and do it first thing, then I have kind of beat myself up about it, which makes me feel like worse, which then makes me not even want to try to do it, which then it's just like it's not a good habit to be in, to be thinking that it needs to be perfect, or if it's not perfect, then you can't do it. So sometimes I'll get up and I'll do other things first, and then I will go and I'll do my morning routine. There are days where I get up and I check my phone first, and then I'll go and do my morning routine because I'm not perfect. I'm a human being, and it's an ebb and flow. Life is an ebb and flow. There are chunks of time where I'm just like on it. And that is obviously ideal and that's where we want to be, but it's just like don't be so hard on yourself if you make a mistake, because if you don't know already, making mistakes is how we grow, how we learn. Um, yeah, discussions and takeaway. So what is one small shift you are committing to this week? And why does that matter to you? So if you want to share, I think you can like do a hand raise thing, or you can put it in the chat and then or you can just unmute yourself, honestly, if you feel comfortable doing that. Um, if not, like in the meantime, I will just start to share. So one small shift that I'm definitely going to commit to this week, until next Thursday, is doing the this morning and evening journaling prompts, as well as this like it's like a 10-minute meditation. And I know that seems like a lot, but I just feel like that is in my best interest, and that is something that is beneficial for me personally, and I'm gonna feel it out. And you know what? Like I think part of growth too is acknowledging when you have decided you wanted to do something and then you've also decided to change your mind because it just didn't work out for you. Like you just you readjusted your goals, right? So yeah, that's what I'm gonna work on this week. It is a 21-day thing for both of them. That's why I feel like I have to do it, because I didn't even mean to do it like this. I didn't like set it up. I decided I wanted to do the journaling thing again, actually a couple days ago, and then it took me a while. Like I had some life stuff come up, which happens, right? And it took me a while to get to it, and so I finally did it today. And then I just so happened to do this meditation thing, and then he was talking about how it's a 21-day thing, and I'm just like, okay, well, I have to do it, right? Um, yeah, I apologize. I talk so fast. I'm not apologizing. But yeah, so if you're not comfortable with sharing, that's totally fine too. Um, Also, this is going to be probably on YouTube. So if you want to share in the comments, I would love to hear what your small shift that you're committing to for the next week is. Again, just set a timer for 1 week and just go from there. Then at the end of the week, you don't have to keep going, and or if you want to keep going, you can if you want to, right? Sorry, I need some water. I'm talking a lot, which I love to do. All right. Okay, so beep boop boop. On to the next thing. Growth assignments. Okay, so like I said, there are 3 levels in my head about this course, and this is the other one. So this you can take with you and do throughout the week. Um, yeah, so if you haven't been able to decide on one habit, use this trick called the habit audit and one small shift. I don't know if this is picking up this thing here, but I'm gonna move it. Sorry, my throat is dry. Yeah, so for the next 3 days, observe your habits without judgment. Notice what habits support you and what habits drain you. That's my cat. Then pick one new habit to shift or one habit shift to commit to this week and pick something that's like small enough to win at and then but meaningful enough to like give you like fulfillment and like contributes to your growth. Bum, ba, bum. Yeah. Okay, and then I have some journaling prompts for you, which are again optional, of course. Here he comes. Hi, Becky. Look at Meow. You can't walk on the desk today. Not right now, maybe later. Sit him up, bud. All right, so some journaling prompts. How does it feel to show up for myself in this way? Um, I know for a lot of us, there can be resistance when, especially when we first start showing up for ourselves in this way. Um, So just if you're feeling like if anything that I said like made you angry or feel triggered, then that is definitely a really good helpful journaling prompt if you want to use it, of course. And then what would it mean to truly trust your own word and to truly trust your own intuition? I had an experience this week where my intuition was telling me one thing, but I second guessed if it was fear or intuition. Um, and I went against it because I had fear that I was going against my intuition of, yeah, of doing the thing that I wanted to do. But then, yeah, it was a whole thing. But eventually I ended up listening to my intuition and I managed to dodge some bullets, let's just say, without going into too much detail. Not that I whatever. Yeah, so that is all I have for today, I believe. If we don't have any shares, which I love the shares, and that is ideally what we're going to be doing. Like a lot of, because like, yeah, I want to learn, but I really do believe that healing is best in community and healing is fastest in community. And yeah, you can do a lot of healing on your own, but at a certain point, I don't know, I just feel like you need love to heal. And I'm not talking about romantic love, I'm talking about just genuine, like pure, like care for someone without attachment, actually, the opposite of romantic love, because romantic love comes with attachment and expectations. And I want this to be a place where there's no attachment and no expectations because that is where it's easiest and best to heal and grow. A judgment-free zone without attachments and expectations. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, G? Anyways, thank you so much for participating. My cat says hi too. I wish you could see him. I wish he was like standing up. He's so fuzzy. He's so fuzzy. Look, fuzzy. No, he doesn't like that. He does not like it. Anyways, thank you so much for coming. I love doing this stuff. I'm going to be doing it well with you here, and I look forward to next week. So I'm going to stop the recording now, if I can learn how to do that.